Hello. Think for a moment what these have in common. Finding the best way to draw lines on a parking lot. Finding the sweet spot of a baseball bat. Designing the ultimate brownie pan. Or finding the best overbooking strategy to help an airline maximize revenue. These might seem like really different questions that one might ask, but they all have one thing in common, and that's math modeling. And so in this series of videos, what I'd like to do is give you the tools to be better at math modeling. So my name is Brian Hollenbeck, and I'm a professor of mathematics at Emporia State University. And math modeling involves a variety of things, but we can boil it down into three main areas. And that's why we have three main chapters or toolkits in the textbook. So the first toolkit is the modeling process itself. It's hard to do math modeling until you have a step-by-step process. And so that's what chapter 1 will get into. The second toolkit is the mathematics. You may already know some mathematics from algebra or calculus that will help you do a lot of different things, but there might be some new ideas that you haven't seen, and chapter 2 touches on that. And then the third toolkit is technology. You're probably familiar with a calculator, but a spreadsheet and a computer algebra system, among other things, can give us even more powerful tools to really tackle some tough problems. And that's what that chapter will be about. But before we get into that, let's step back for a moment and ask ourselves, what is math modeling and why is it important? And that's the topic of chapter 0, which starts off with a nice quote from Albert Einstein, that all models should be as simple as possible, but no simpler. So keep that in mind throughout the course. So let's start with what is math modeling. I would argue that math modeling is actually at the intersection of three areas that you probably have seen in other classes. So certainly there's mathematics, right? Whether that's percentages, fractions, algebra, calculus, differential equations. And then there's applications. So sometimes in your math classes, you might have some sort of word problem that attaches some sort of meaning to the X's and Y's and numbers you're dealing with. And so that would fall in this category. But modeling is a little bit more than that. And that's where we have the third category, problem solving. And problem solving is, of course, those kind of brain teaser type questions, those questions that kind of make you push beyond what you just learn in class. Something a little bit different than examples 1 through 3 or homework problems 1 through 20 in the textbook. Now, you probably have seen some of those in like a problem solving competition or maybe like a brain teaser where you're trying to solve some problem that doesn't have anything to do with the real world, but it's kind of a fun problem to challenge yourself. But math modeling involves all three of these elements, which means it's not going to have a nice quick answer. It may not even have one answer. It may have more than one answer, or some answers might be better than others. So we'll get into more of that as we go through the course. But for now, just keep in mind that if you have a problem that involves some sort of outside the box thinking, has some real world aspect to it, and involves mathematics, then that's probably in the world of math modeling. But why is math modeling important? Well, I would claim that there's actually several skills that are useful in life. You know, ask yourself, what are some important things that someone should be able to do no matter what they do for a job or for a hobby? And I suspect there's at least 4. So certainly one of them is to communicate effectively, right? And that could be through writing or through presentations. Okay, a second one is that can you critique your own work? We all like to think that our final product is great, but sometimes there's weaknesses in whatever we're doing. And so we have to be able to be honest with ourselves and identify those weaknesses, as well as be upfront about the strengths of whatever we're doing. So we need to be both humble and confident when appropriate. The third thing is to be able to have quantitative reasoning skills. Right? If we're dealing with a mathematical problem, we want to have the tools to actually use the appropriate mathematics to solve it. And then perhaps most importantly is to be able to handle the unknown. This is where that problem-solving skill that I alluded to a moment ago comes in. What do you do when you're faced with a problem that you're not sure how to get started? It's easy to freeze up or to just ask someone else, Google it, right? And sometimes those asking someone else might work. But what if there isn't an easy answer to be found and we have to figure it out on our own? Then we need to be able to handle the unknown. And I would argue that math modeling actually allows us to build on all four of these skills. And hopefully you'll find that as well by the end of the course. And so that makes it a unique course. And as you get into the various sections, hopefully you'll see how the various skills deal with each one of these, one way or the other. Just to let you know a little bit about the way the sections are designed is each section will have a textbook that you can read through. So if you prefer to read, you can just read through it. If you prefer videos, you can watch these videos that I'll create, or you can do both. But either way, at the end of the section, there will be a few questions just to kind of make sure you are paying attention and understood the key ideas. Then after that, there will be some exercises that will be related to the examples. So if you understood the examples, the exercises shouldn't be too different. And then there will also be some problems and projects that will be a step beyond a typical exercise, that you'll have to incorporate some of those modeling skills. There may be a little unknown you have to handle. You may have to combine ideas. And that's how each section is set up. So that's it for now. We'll see you in the next video.